Hi, and welcome back to Lit Laugh Lounge, where we lit, we laugh, and we lounge, and we have class in an hour. Lounge is still not here. We miss her dearly. Let us know if you want us to do ACOTAR next, because then she can actually participate.
Yes. I have all the original books too.
My sister. So I had all the original series of the Throne of Glass books, except Assassin's Blade, because I got that from the library. Whatever. I had all the original covers. I read them as they were coming out. And you know what my sister did? She gave away my Throne of Glass book.
The original one?
Yes! She let someone borrow it, and I have not seen it since.
That's so annoying.
I'm so mad about it, because those go for, like, a lot of money, so I can't replace it. Because I would just go and replace it, but I can't.
Yeah. I saw a girl on TikTok that she bought, like, the entire box set of the old covers, like, a couple weeks before the new covers were announced.
So if anyone has an extra copy and wants to give it to me, I would greatly appreciate that. But back on to Crescent City, where we last ended. I don't actually remember. It was when Lydia was like running away, and like they had just kind of escaped, but not really. Like they were on the run. So we start back on chapter 30. Can you tell I'm in a rush? 35. So the angels make it to the ship, and Therion's there, and he's like, "Come on, guys!" And he's like, "I said land in the hatch," because they like land on the ship, and everyone's like, "Lydia, you need to go get Lydia," and he's like, "Well, I can't really move the ship any closer." He's like, "No, you need to get Lydia.
You go get her."
Specifically,
Therion's like, "Oh,
he's like, okay, I got it. I got you, bro." And he Little Mermaid's off into the river and like goes swims after her. And then we're in Lydia's POV and she's running. She's regretting her life choices right now.
She really is.
She's running. And then she's like, Mordok and the wolves are like trying to get her. She's like, "Those were my dread wolves once.
I trained those.
I trained you. They
were
my
favorite torturers."
Literally. And we're all like, "Okay, girl." And she's like literally regretting her life choices. And then she gets cornered. And they're like, "We're going to take you back." They don't actually say this, but she's like, "Oh, they're going to take me back to Rigolis." And they're like, "Come on. Like, we'll just shoot you." And she's like, "Go with them and face a lifetime of torture or jump off the cliff and die." So she's like, second one. And she's like, "Peace," and just leaps off it. And like they try to shoot her. And she's like, it's like the Percy Jackson TV show where she's like, "I thought I saw a wall of water rising up to meet me," but then I was like hallucinating. And she's like, and then it's like she laughed as she died. And I was like, "Whoa."
Which I love Lydia. Like I feel like she's my favorite part of this entire book, other than Asriel.
He doesn't count because he's not part of the series.
I know.
He's not a series regular.
I know. But anyways, Lydia's honestly, like, getting her chapters has been like a really fun perspective.
I love her. Everyone needs to be nicer to Lydia.
You see that TikTok where people are like, "Did you just read this book for Asriel?" And then no, I swear,
never. Never would I do that. That would have been a lot of foresight in my like 16-year-old self's mind if I was like, "I'm gonna read this series because I know she's gonna add ACOTAR in later." That'd be like
so
prophetic.
Yeah.
Chapter 36. Ethan's like necromancer, and Jasiba's like, "Sure, if you want to be my assistant." And that's basically the rundown of their conversation. Because she's like, "I need a necromancer." And she's like, "Well,
tough luck.
I need good help." So the cat in the background running up the stairs. And like literally that's the whole thing. And he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll work for you."
She's like, "Wait, who are you trying to raise?"
And so Bryce is still with the Autumn King, and so she finds out the boys are free.
The boys!
Yeah, the boys are free! And she's
boys.
like, "You knew they were out of prison? And you didn't
tell
and you lied to me!" And he's like, "This literally happened this morning.
Girl, this is the first time I've seen you all day."
Yeah. And she's like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then the Autumn King wants her to open a portal so that Rigolis will be like, "You did good. I'll let you rule this planet," which is such a stupid plan.
Very stupid. Like, she even says it in her mind. She's like, wow, you're really taking a page out of Thea's book.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because, like, why in the world would the all-powerful being, when you hand them, like, this chunk of, like, world, they'd be like, yeah,
you can rule over
you can have it.
You worked hard.
You worked hard for that one. Like, what? He's stupid.
He's like me in my high school band. Always like, I did so much work for my band director. He'll acknowledge it and notice me.
He'll love me. He picked me, choose me, love me.
And now I still have conversations about it with my therapist. So.
I love that for you.
I don't have a therapist. I'm lying.
I was like, damn, she ditched me for therapy once a week. She doesn't want to be around me, guys. I'm not enough.
We all get a therapist. Oh my god. Could we both get a therapist?
Can we see each other's therapist? I'm going to get a degree right now.
Can we go to couples therapy together?
Anyone want to be our couples therapist?
We've lived together a little too long. It's like we're always on the verge of like either killing each other or making out. Like we never know.
Stop. What happened? Okay.
Sorry. Are we in a book? What?
Time frame.
Welcome back to the podcast. Sorry, we took a break for some therapy.
Didn't know you had to see that. Sorry. If you're reading this book, though, you're way worse things.
It's like, oh, you should know this too. Oh my god.
Where are we on crack? Anyway, oh, so he's like, so this dagger is pretty sick, man.
Oh.
So he's like, I know this thing, and she's like, what does it do? And he's like, let me tell you, you should know this too. And he's like, truth teller can unmake things, and it used together with the star sword and like stabbing things, it can open a portal to nowhere. Which I'm pretty sure they can do that in Akatar, no? Isn't that like their storage closet? Is they just put shit in like this pocket dimension?
Nether, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like she probably could just like ask Reese about it. Hey, so I have this like sword.
She just opens up another portal and she's like, hey,
ring a ding ding, how y'all doing? Midnight Madness with me.
You stay on your side of the world, I'll stay on my side. Just tell me a little bit.
Kiss from the mirror, it's fine. Yeah, and so he's like, that's how you can like get rid of the Asterias, if you just like stick them in this random room, closet, portal dimension. And then there's sexism, obviously. On Avalon, which is not the name of it, but I keep calling it Avalon.
Yeah,
they're
I also call it Avalon.
They're like, he's like, yeah, I read this on Avalon, and she's like, cool, I'll go read it.
He's
book
like,
club,
good luck, girly.
and he's like, so you're not allowed there because woman. And she's like, huh? And he's like, yeah. Why do you think only princes are like boys are allowed in the cave of princes? And she's like, so the only reason that men only do this is because sexism, not some like weird birthright thing. Mm-hmm. Sexism sucks. Don't ask not what misogyny has done to you, but what it has done for you, unless you're Bryce. Chapter 27. Oh my god, I was reading this in a cafe, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, because this is Rune sitting at Lydia's bedside, and it's when you figure out that they had some First Light on board, like some stores, and he was like, no, give it to her!
Give it all to her!
Even though he has no hand. He's like, give it to her!
Oh, you know, you haven't seen Deadpool, but there's a scene where, like, his hands get cut off, and, like, he's Deadpool.
His limbs were cut off. His feet were cut off.
So it just grows back, and, like, it just slowly grows out. It's like a baby hand at first, and then, like, little nubs, and it just gets bigger and bigger. It's so funny. And the same thing, like, his legs get cut off at some point, and they're just little, like, baby legs. It's so funny. That's what I was imagining, though. I was imagining, like, a baby hand growing back.
That's kind of how she describes it. She's, like, pale, like, weak fingers. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and she flatlined twice, and then Hunt was like, human defibrillator, and then Rune's like, how'd you know to do that? And he's like, thank Regulus. Because I knew that was when she was like, and she laughed and she died. I was like, Hunt's gonna bring her back to life, and that's why they put that in there beforehand. Figured it out. So that I was like, I'm right. But then Therion is he cushioned the fall when Lydia jumped with his water, and so she had seen that, right? But fucking Mordok shot her right through the heart.
Like a gaping hole.
Yeah.
Like shotgun kind of.
Yeah, like a softball-sized hole in her heart. And so when she came on board, she was dead.
Yeah.
She was gone.
No, when Therian got her, she was dead.
She was dead.
I'm not sure how Fastlight like was able to regenerate her from death.
Well, Hunt's lightning. That was the whole thing. Because remember, Hunt's lightning can bring people back from the dead. That was why they wanted her lightning, because like Sophie, and then the heartbeat.
The heart. Yeah.
And just connect all those dots.
Yeah. I was like, okay, he's a defibrillator, but like defibrillators still can let people die.
No, he's like magic.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jesus, actually. Rose on the third day. And so she died from her fall. Hunt had to jump her with his lightning 3 times so far. And then freaking, I think it's like Flynn. He's like, bro, I got your girl. Go rest. And running his head, he's like, she's not my girl.
Not my girl.
I'm like, oh, my heart. My heart.
Which we've already talked about this, but they're 100% mates.
Oh my God, Sarah with her, only mates are so rare. You get a mate.
You get a mate. You get a mate. The cat gets a mate. I want a mate. Let's all have mates. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it hurt my heart so bad. And then Therian and Hunt do therapy. And Hunt's like, hey, Therian, can you like call up your peeps and get the Ocean Queen to like
your
meet
boy
with me? Yeah. And Therian's like, they kind of hate me, but like, sure, I'll try. And then Hunt's like, cool. And then he goes and does therapy with Vaxian. And Vaxian has this little tattoo that's like ripped to shreds that had like through love all as possible.
And Danica's handwriting.
And he's like, how will he ever get that remade? And I'm like, I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
Like the remnants of their love left.
Oh, and then so Therian asked Sundays, sure, about the river, or not the river queen, the Ocean Queen. I wrote that wrong. And she's like, so funny story. She's actually coming here tomorrow and wants to see you.
So you're getting your wish.
Because you're causing war to break out. And he's like, oh, girl. Yeah. And then chapter 38. Not a lot happens, like, in the terms of, like, writing stuff down. Like, there's no lore explained. It's just all scenes, which is kind of nice when you're reading it. Mm-hmm. Ethan fights a book. He's like tussling with his fucking book, which is so funny.
So funny.
And then Jasiba does this whole like library talk with him where she's like, can you imagine like all these people showing up to fight for a library because they were like the library of like Parthos. She's like, yeah, sure. She's like, all these people showed up and then died for the library so the priestesses could get the books out.
100,000 men and women.
Yeah, it didn't work. But she had a boat, and she had a boat with books on it, and she was traveling. And then Apollyon, who just ate Sirius, shows up, and he's like, he touches her, and then she becomes immortal and beautiful.
He's like, what you got all these books for? Like, what's so special about them?
What's crazy about that?
And then she's like, they have power. And he's like, oh, really? Like, words on a page have power? Well, you're going to show me. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're gonna show me and you're gonna keep on living until you do. And she's like, oh,
must have say book.
Yeah.
And so now she's like eternally beautiful and eternally powerful. And then Ethan's like
also 15,000 years old.
That too. Just a little.
She also used to be human, but like she stole some of Goose. She stole some of Sirius's power whenever Apollyon touched her, so like there's all that.
No, she was a witch.
I thought she was a human, and then she turned into a witch because of the power.
She deflected and became a sorceress in the House of Flame and Shadow, because witches are earth and blood, possibly. Something like that. And she's like, she's chill. I like her. And then she's like, Ethan's like, do you want to start aging again? And she's like, nah. Not until I find a world where these books can like live
be
happily.
Safe, yeah.
Which is so sweet. I love her. And that's the end of my chapters that I wrote down.
Yeah. Okay, so chapter 39. Chapter 39. We are back with Bryce and the Yadam King. She kind of like walks into his office and she's like, hey, what up, Pops? She goes
crack-a-lackin'.
She goes and she like stands behind him as like he looks at the swords and like she's like, tell me more about these swords. Do you want to know more about Randall?
You want to know about my parents' love story?
And how, like, it's so much better, like, than
I love Randall.
Yeah, and so she tells him the story, and then he's like, why are you telling me this? And then she puts a Gorison shackle on his arm, and he's like, no!
Oh no! How will I ever see the turntables turn? I'm so dumb.
And then Bryce is like, "You thought I came here on accident?
Whoa.
Loser." Yeah. And so Bryce tricks the Autumn King.
He's very easily tricked, I feel.
Very easily tricked.
He's like a little wacky tobacco.
He's a little gullible, for sure.
Yeah, for a king, he's like way too gullible.
And she's all like, wow, you're kind of stupid for that.
A little bit dumb.
Also, I mentioned this to Haley earlier, but I don't really love it whenever like authors like trick the readers as well. Because like we were literally reading from Bryce's POV. And we didn't know that she got there on purpose. Like, how do you? I don't know. I don't get it. Like,
only Aelin Ashford Galathinius can do that to me. Only she is allowed. Everyone else, I'm like, okay.
I know that's the point, but like at the same time, I'm like, I was reading Bryce's POV. How did she not mention that? Anyways, so okay, and then so she's like, yeah, I'll be taking these.
You're going home with me.
You're going home with me. And she goes, and you're going in the basement.
Too bad you let all of your servants go and locked yourself in here where no one can hear you scream. Like,
and no one will come for you unless they check up on you in a couple days. So have fun, Pookie. And she teleports to home, which is Hunt. So I don't know how she just has the homing beacon.
Yeah, he got a GPS. He got an AirTag on him.
She put one on him. And then, so Lydia wakes up. We have a POV switch. Rune is sitting there watching her, and then like Lydia's just staring at him, and she's like, "Oh, hey, you're up.
Hey, babe."
And she's like, "Oh, I'm alive.
Where are we?
Where am I?
What's happening?"
And then he's like, "Oh, we're on the depth charger," and she's like, "Huh? Whoa!" Rips out all of her IVs. I know. Rips out all of her IVs and is making a mad dash down the halls.
They keep talking about like the holes in her arms where the IVs are supposed to be. And I'm like,
and then like makes Flynn spill coffee all over himself. Flynn's like, what the hell is going on? What is wrong with her? And she's running down the hall, and like Hunt and his weak ass body are trying to keep up. And then all of a sudden she gets to this room on the depth charger with a whole bunch of children in it. And then they got little mer children in there, but then there's 2 non-children. And wait,
non-mer children. Not non-children.
And one of them has golden blonde hair. And she's like on the window.
She's like, "Oh my god, let me in,
please." And Rune's like, "Oh, your brothers?" She's like, "My sons,
and they're just like looking at her confused as fuck because they've never met her. So
the kids are like, "What the hell?"
They're like, "There's a woman there with my eyeballs. Someone
like
help me!"
Crazy lady in a hospital gown. So Lydia has children.
Yeah.
So now we have to figure out, is it Pollux's children? Is it someone else? I don't know who else's it would be.
Yeah, that's like the weird thing because I'm like, they talk about it later where they're like, Pollux's children, they don't have wings, but that doesn't mean anything. But then it's like, who else would it be? And then it's
Asteris, like Regulus. That would be why she was his favorite.
I feel like they might have mentioned that though. Somehow.
Well, I mean, Sarah wouldn't have. She likes keeping us in the dark, but I mean, that's why Regulus probably liked her so much. They were fucking on the low.
That's crazy. Or it's a Prince of Hell's child. Randomly.
Very randomly.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the only men that she would fuck. That, because I mean, the Princess of Hell wouldn't have gotten into.
She also was like randomly away for a bunch of time. Remember, they got split up. They're Hunt's children. I don't know. I'm just saying shit.
So I don't know. My money's on Regulus because I mean it'd be way too obvious if it was Pollux. And she already mentioned before that Pollux didn't like fucking her on her period. Like,
do you know how birth works? Have you ever taken an 8th grade health course, Alana?
I'm sorry, a momentary lapse.
All the feminism just left your body. You became a man for a minute. How does that feel? How does it feel? Do you want to go join a frat?
I feel like I should renounce my womanhood.
Just drop it.
My bad. I flipped the weeks around. That's the 1 week you can't get pregnant, actually. Anyways, I feel like it's too obvious to be Pollock's kids.
Yeah,
so
probably.
I'm saying Regulus.
I'm gonna go with someone really random. Like, it's a random dude in the woods. I don't know. I feel like it's something random.
It's Therion.
He got away from the River Queen's daughter for like 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Okay, so chapter 40. The Ocean Queen shut up! The Ocean Queen shows up. She graces their presence. Shows up. And they're all like, oh, she's kind of short.
She's
And
itty bitty.
she is 4 foot tall. And then she grows.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I won't
you
be
really wish you
tall.
would.
Why do you hate me? This is the man. It's still in her. It's still coming out.
Oh my gosh. It's my voice, little Lord. Anyways, oh yeah, and so she just gets taller. No reason, I guess, to be more intimidating.
Yeah, she's spooky.
Yeah, and Rune's not in the room.
Rune's not in the room.
Hunt is like, wow, the power emanating from her.
It's spooky.
Crazy.
Spooky as fuck.
And then she's like, Therion, you've got not one, but 2 queens after you.
You causing issues, buddy.
I got one that wants your head, and another one that also wants your head, but is willing to start a war over it. So why should I keep you? And he's like, 'cause I'm really cool.
I'm helpful sometimes.
He's like, pretty please don't kill me. I really don't want to die. I've been through a lot.
Man needs therapy.
Yeah, he's also going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
The Viper
He's
Queen.
not okay.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that they like blew up the meat market before
Me
they
too.
left. So I was like, why does the Viper Queen want them?
Yeah, what the
Oh,
fuck?
okay. But yeah. And so then she's like, I think you're all out of luck, Therion. I am not willing to start a war over you, so you're just going to have to go. And then Bryce is like, he serves me.
Actually, 3 queens would be mad. She just walks in and she's like, yeah, I'm a queen.
Like, for no reason. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
How, and what, she didn't even kill her dad. Like, if she killed her dad, to be like, okay, yeah, I guess she has a claim to it now. But, like, she didn't. Her dad's still alive.
Still breathing.
She's not a queen in another world. She just has the blood of Thea, and she already knew that.
She's just angry enough to be a queen, I guess.
Yeah, I guess she just self-decreed herself.
Mhm.
But anyways, she's a queen now. And even the Ocean Queen's like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
Miss
sure,
Queen.
yeah.
Anyways, that was the end of chapter 40 was Bryce showing up. And then 41, Bryce goes into what happened to her, like sort of, like she's kind of going over it where she's like, the Asteria are parasites. And they also put a parasite in our water.
Crazy.
And the Ocean Queen is like, yeah, that makes sense.
I figured that one out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, you're not like freaked out. She's like, oh, I knew. I
Like,
just had to
checks.
make the drop. Like,
Yeah.
And then Bryce is like, okay, well, we need to work together. And the Ocean Queen's like, I don't want to. I don't really like your attitude, actually.
I've been doing this for a bit. Like,
Yeah.
I can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, and then she's like, okay, well, get us passage to Avalon. She's like, actually, I think that you should open up a portal and just take a select few people. And she's like,
That
no,
no.
I will not be Celine, actually.
Mhm.
And then she's like, why are you care? Like, what are you talking about? And then turns out the Mer were part of the original species on Midgard.
Mhm.
So that's where the myths and the stories of the Mer came from in the humans, is because occasionally they would meet.
They just pop up
And
be
so,
like, hey, what's up?
yeah.
Crack-a-lack.
Like, hey, what's up? Hello.
No.
And so Miss Ocean Queen is like, yeah, I've been around since
I've been around the block.
I've been around the block since before the Asteria ruled this neighborhood. So like, you can't really tell me what to do. You're not gonna win. I think you should just take a few of my people before you dip on the earth or in this world on Midgard. And Bryce is like, no,
That's not fair.
that's not what I'm doing. I'd rather just die fighting.
Mhm.
And then So, but before the Ocean Queen leaves, she's like, okay, I'll grant you passage to Avalon, but that's my last favor to you.
Mm-hmm.
Take some of my people before you go.
Yeah, she's like, when you leave, when you decide that you have made the wrong decision, because you will, take my bitches and go.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was thinking about when I was reading that chapter. I was like, Rhysand would be so fucking mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do they think that's a better idea? Walking to this random world that you know nothing about with people you don't know about and just, like, hope that they don't kill you on sight.
Yeah, for real. Especially because she's already met them. She knows that they don't want her kind over there.
No.
Especially because knowing what they know about weapons and war, and he already thinks they're just a horrible people.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work at all. They'd be like, turn around, go back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that Nesta has the harp, and she would just send them back.
Yeah, so it's
not a
work.
good plan. Not going to work out. So, 42. Anyways, everybody, including Room, they all go to this room where they just have a little catch up. They're like, so, what did you guys do while I was on another world?
It's so funny because they walk in and they're like, what the fuck do you mean? What is this? And Baxter's just like, that was epic.
It's so funny because it's immediate like chaos.
I love Baxter. He's my favorite.
I love him too.
So random.
He's also a gem.
Yes.
That just came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
I love you.
I need POV chapters from Baxter.
Oh my god, so badly.
Sebra. Anyways, so they have their little catch up, and they're like, we were tortured for a week straight. And then Bryce tells them the full of like what happened on the other world. And then Rune and Bryce go into the hallway. She's like crying. She's like, I can't believe that.
Hunt and
Bryce. And they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened to you. That's so sad. And then for whatever reason, they get into a trauma war.
It was so weird because I was sitting there and I was like, why are you comforting her? Yeah. Like, yeah, she went through shit, but like, she should really be comforting you.
Yeah, Hunt, for real. Like, if we're actually having a trauma war, Hunt
wins.
Came out on top.
Hunt solos that.
He does. He swept the floor with that shit. And then so she's like, he's like, I had to watch my friends get carved up in front of me. And then she's like, I had to go every day not knowing if you were alive. Okay, girl, you were walking through a tunnel. You were fine. You were okay. You were alive. I don't know why that happened. It seemed a bit random. I didn't really like it. Was just like a random argument for the sake of having an argument. So, and then, and that's it. Oh, wait. And then, sorry, I backtracked a bit. There was a little bit of talk about who's Lydia children. We already talked about this, but like, who are they? My guess is Regulus. I'm gonna go with a random deer in the woods. It's the what is it? The Lord of the North from whatever the fuck Throne of Glass. The Lord of the I don't know. The big stag. Oh, is that what it's called? The Lord of the North? Or am I making that up? I don't know. Well, that's her. That's the parent. That's the parent. It's that fucking stag from Terrasan. Yeah. So predictions. Oh my goodness. There's so much and yet so little that happened in these chapters. Because I'm like, which I enjoy. I feel like because we're in the middle, like a lot of this stuff is just gonna like happen very quick. Yeah. My poor Lydia. I was so sad. I was so upset. I was in like a coffee shop being upset. It was so bad. Yeah. I don't know. They're definitely gonna break into Avalon and then she's gonna have to like what is it? What do they have to do? They face the what is the challenge called that they have to do with the princes do? The Cave of Princes or something. Yeah, but they have to like it's this shit. No, it's like it's like you face a challenge, but it's like it's called something. It's not called a challenge. It's called an incident. Something like that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. In not incident. Not endure. Oh my god. She's gonna have to do one of those. She's gonna have to have her indictment. I don't know what it's called. That's okay. When she's gonna go into the Cave of Princes. She's gonna have her challenge trial, whatever it is. Her worthiness tested of the sword or whatever. Yeah, whatever it's called. And I think they're gonna be surprised by something they find on Avalon. I feel like Morven's probably gonna like help him or something. Who? The king. Oh yeah. King Morven.
She's like, I have the diary of my dad with his dirty little secrets.
I forgot about that.
I'll tell you my dirty
little secret. Anyways, my predictions are she's gonna find something on Avalon, and then she's gonna realize she doesn't understand something about Truth Teller, and then she's gonna open up a portal back to.
That'd be so funny.
And she's like, knock knock, guys. I need some advice.
Can you imagine? She just opens another portal, and her and Hunt step through, and they're like, "You have feathers."
They're like admiring each other's wings, like, wow, yours are like leather.
Cassian, so cool. I feel like would be all over that.
Oh yeah, I feel like Cassie and Hunt are just the same person, two different fonts.
I would actually, if she opens a portal, I'd like her to open the wrong portal first and just like end up with like Abraxas in the middle of nowhere, and she's like, oh wait, wrong one. Different one.
Oh my god,
that'd be so funny.
That would be, yeah. So I definitely feel like she's gonna realize she needs their help and open a portal, or Nesta's gonna show up and they're gonna try to get back the Truth Teller.
Yeah, because I feel like if they're gonna show up anywhere, I feel like Avalon would probably be the place.
Oh, the mist.
Yeah,
that's right. They said places where mist or where like the line between worlds are thin or something like that.
And it's covered in mist, so it's like that screams Akatar. Like it screamed Akatar since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So if they show up anywhere again, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like
might just be dead wrong.
Ordeal. That's what it's called.
Ordeal?
Or his ordeal.
Are you sure that was the word?
I think it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it later or something, but I'm pretty sure it's the ordeal. Like when she something like that. So I said it was dumb.
Okay.
But yeah, her ordeal is gonna be like fighting Nesta and Asriel again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something random.
We'll see. But I think it's also funny. We were reviewing our bingo card of predictions before we even started the book, and we were wrong on a lot of things. Like
I think we need to remake it.
Yeah, halfway.
Now that we're halfway through.
Halfway predictions for sure. We have to put like a major spoiler warning on it though.
Yeah, the first one had a major spoiling on it.
Okay.
But yeah, follow the Instagram for that because I'll post it. Yeah. That's all I got. Right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
What? There's nothing else that. Right. There's no one else. Oh, Ethan.
Oh.
What do we think about Sigrid? Like, do we think she's gonna come back?
Yeah, she's gonna come back, but I feel like she's such like a throwaway character that I just don't care.
Because it's like the thing is with Lydia and Baxian is like
they had a story.
They had a story and they had like presence before this, whereas like Sigrid just shows up.
She's just like, hey, and then she's like, I'm the alpha.
And she's also kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Whereas like Lydia's kind of obnoxious like at times, but like she actually does shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Sigrid's just obnoxious for the point of obnoxiousness.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because like what I would prefer is Sigrid is they like try and resurrect Sigrid and then she stays dead and they're like, damn. So Ethan, you are an alpha. You should like take over because that's what I want.
Yeah, I think 100%. I feel like Ethan's gonna end up being like the alpha.
Yeah, I want him to take on Sabine.
And he's gonna end up winning somehow. But I think what's gonna happen is they might like revive Sigrid, but like not in a full way. So like almost in a way where she passes on
the alphaness.
The alphaness. Yeah. That was the exact word I was gonna use, but I didn't want to use it. So I'm glad you did.
Like like her blessing almost. Yeah, is probably what I would assume.
She like passes on like I guess the power of the alpha. I don't know.
I don't know if it would be like power,
but it's like I feel like in werewolves like you can choose
your successor.
Yeah, your successor.
But she's not the successor yet, so I don't know if it's.
I don't know.
I think it would be like a blessing. I think she would be like, you got this.
Like I think they'll revive her spirit in a
Because
way.
she's like been dead for a minute. Like Lydia was only dead for like
a couple,
like a couple minutes. She's been dead for like a while, so I don't understand
like
how you would bring her back.
Yeah, and like they said they have her on ice right now, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I think they'll revive her, but it won't be fully.
Yeah, because I don't know. But I don't know.
That's our prediction.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with because that was the only. I was like, someone else isn't there, but yeah. Follow us on Instagram and Spotify and TikTok and Twitter and Threads and do it all.
And it is all Lit Laugh Lounge. You can find us real easy.
And tell us if you want us to do Akatar, please.
Yes.
Because I have to go find it.
I have it. So.
I don't. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.